we're going to go back to several of the incidents that have since come out since we spoke about Monday night, but we will focus on the CM Punk incident because now we have got alternate footage from this guy's own phone as well, which gives us more of an insight into this incident. So what we can garner here with the additional angle is that this guy was getting like right up to Bailey and AJ Lee as they are hugging here at the hotel. And we see Bailey like shoo him away, like get away from here. And then CM Punk coming over and ending this this video midstream. And thus that is what you saw afterwards. But there was already the warning from Bailey to kind of back off. Now, this guy, he's not looking to send CM Punk to jail. He's not looking to press charges. He just wants him to show up on Raw in the middle of the ring and apologize. This guy wants an apology. And
he specifically stated on Raw?
No, I'm joking about that part. It sounds like a wrestling angle where you would have to set up this in the middle of the ring. But yes, this fan wants an apology from Phil for swatting his phone down. Now, listen, I'm never going to encourage anybody like in this situation to actually like strike somebody or even to like knock their phone down. And it's not that you're necessarily in the wrong, but it's like you're just opening yourself up to this one. Mm-hmm. I would say if I was Phil Brooks in this moment, like of this one, I was like, you go ahead and sue me. Let's just ride this one out then. I don't know. I would not be bringing myself to apologize over this. But, you know, I have seen like a lot of discussions about this, and we kind of had it on Monday of, you know, what the line is for fans that, I mean, clearly this guy lacking like social cues here, and the very obvious like signal from Bailey. You know, it's like whatever your reasoning for it is, like this is pretty prevalent, and there's a lot worse than this that goes on. But this was an occasion where, listen, it's like he sees his wife there, and I can't put myself in this position, but if it was my wife or my kids and someone was doing this, like I would probably have a pretty short fuse as well, more so than even my own privacy being, you know, stepped upon. And yeah, so yeah, that's the latest on the Punk side of things.
Yeah. So this is one that we had spoken about on Monday in the Cafe edition, of course, and I had only seen the one angle from
that's
TMZ.
all we had seen at that point, because I don't think this came out till Tuesday.
Yeah. And so just watching that particular angle where the footage only starts from pretty much like Punk swatting the phone away and you don't really see much else. Of course, like in the situation, you know, you would understand maybe what would have driven somebody to swat somebody's phone away. I've no doubt this person was probably very annoying anyway, but that footage alone didn't necessarily make Punk look as sympathetic when you just see, you know, somebody acting aggressively towards somebody who is maybe there as part of like, you know, whatever, like a some sort of like group as maybe again, like not much context there. This guy, I'm sure selling his footage to TMZ and maybe earning some amount of money on it, essentially just gave us a lot more context that really shows how much of an asshole he was being. And I mean, what if there was any level of sympathy towards him, which I don't think there was much even to begin with, all of it would have been completely driven away, especially when you see how Punk and AJ are walking away from these crowds to try to get into a little moment where they can share this sort of like intimate, you know, a hug between the two of them. And the moment Bailey shoves this guy away, swats the phone away, and he still continues filming, of course you fully understand Punk's reaction to it. I would be pissed off if this was a loved one. And it's just amazing to me how like this was footage that this guy kind of volunteered unto himself. And the headline attached to it, fan not pursuing lawsuit, is just that much more maddening, you know, especially with this man knowing what he did.
Yeah, and I don't want to extrapolate this. Like this is full on like speculating, but like we know that like CM Punk, AJ Lee, like they are they are very tight with Elena Black, and this is coming just right after her very public incident. And it would not surprise me if that's in Punk's head too, of just an overall like we're hearing all these other stories. This does not feel like this was just an isolated moment where the fans were too much. It seems like this was the problem the entire week, and this was just a breaking point. And if you couple the Elena Black situation, which I am sure Punk was aware of, and all of that boiling over here,
I'm sure for these two themselves, anytime they've had to go to their hotel room, they've probably been through this. Tensions are, from now, what we know now, were likely high the entire weekend for talents entering in and out of their own personal spaces.
So in addition to that, Booker T on his podcast, like, think of the amount of manias he has been going to for the last 25 years, said this was the worst it's ever been when it's come to fans just swarming talent, and even detailed a situation where a fan not only followed this guy into the bathroom, was filming him in the bathroom.
Yeah, which I don't think would be unusual. So to hear more people speak up about things like that.
Like, that's insane. And I think it's like when you hear like a wrestler, like when you see like online that like, man, this wrestler just was a total asshole. I was like, well, let's see the whole scene. Let's see how this whole thing played out, because I cannot tell you I would have the patience of a Booker T. If someone filming you in the bathroom of all places, Sean Waltman stating that he got physically assaulted and a camera shoved in my face, stalked in the bathroom, and more. You've seen videos popping up of like Orton being swarmed, of Drew McIntyre being swarmed, Powerhouse Hobbs, who's just stating like, dude, like, just give me some freedom here. And
Damian Priest as well involved in an altercation where he had to defend female wrestlers, coworkers.
Yeah, and I mean, my whole thing at the end of this, like, this is all like, this is unacceptable. And they were at a hotel where, like, my understanding is that there can be some like VIP treatment even at like an MGM Grand, but you have the open casino, and therefore this is not like a typical hotel that you can just totally put on lockdown. But this does come down on a TKO issue, in my opinion, of like how we are going to protect our talent. There have been issues like this in the past and different places that they have gone to. So my question to you, Wei, is what do they do with this? Because I think ultimately this is on the talent here of making sure that they are, put in situations where this is not going to be a repeat in future iterations. Mm-hmm. And like, what does the talent do here? Because I do feel the onus is on them. And with TKO, it's like what do you do here if you are the talent?
Talent need to demand from their higher ups for better security. I don't think that's.
Do you think they will do that?
Well, I don't. To me, that's not like like forming a union to like I don't know, like demand higher salaries in comparison to what the NBA Players Association is able to do. This is just like, to me, respecting the livelihood and security of your own talent. God forbid, like a deranged fan, or at least like more dangerous fans have this level of access. I mean, that is a nightmare for any sort of company to deal with. I can't imagine they would be upset about a request like that. And just to maybe further the point, I mean, I don't know what sort of like VIP sort of like a situation they might have at MGM, but if that is that hard and difficult to implement, then don't put your wrestlers into this building ever again.
This is not where they stayed last year. Last year, I believe it was like the Fountain Blue, because they had the partnership with them to do all the live shows there. And you didn't hear like anything to this degree. I mean, there's always going to be like certain incidents that are going to happen. That's almost inevitable. But last week we played that clip with Becky Lynch with Dan Soder, and stating like, listen, we are not catered to in the company. And she was not saying this as like a gripe, but she was just comparing it that, we are still the ones that are booking our hotels and booking travel, and we are responsible for our transportation. And so when we go to like a movie set or something, it's like we are not coming in as prima donnas, because it's kind of insane what these people are expected to go through. Mm-hmm. To like, forget your NFL, NBA players, like compare this to like a Formula One, for instance. Maybe that's an even better comparison.
It feels
here.
like wrestling is in the dark ages.
Like the idea of these wrestlers that like they are booking their hotels on the road. Like they are in charge of finishing one show and then getting into a car afterwards
That's
and
outrageous.
then getting themselves. And
it is when you think about it. It's crazy.
And like to me, this is a situation like it's a smaller thing, but I don't think it's an insignificant one. What Kevin Nash mentioned about the Hall of Fame, they had a 3 p.m. call time on on Friday for the Hall of Fame, and they were there till midnight, no catering. They had like some bananas and some tangerines. I'm like, that's completely unacceptable. That's completely unacceptable that at this level, like you are bringing in like these older people and they're expected to be there for a full day and we're not providing food on top of it. Like these are just certain situations where you really hope that there is some sort of talent push here of like certain like bare minimums for like a WrestleMania weekend here that like this is just to me like basic amenities like proper security and meals for like a Hall of Fame ceremony where people are going to be there for 9-10 hours.
Certainly does not help the narrative that is dominant at this point of TKO being a money hungry, cut costs at any sort of like corner of this entity, type of soulless, heartless corporation, right? So you have a lot of wrestlers now speaking out themselves about these situations, and I really do feel like them being public about it is their effective way of complaining, sending a note to make the company hear so that they don't do this sort of thing again.
I understand the sentiment. I also do feel like in this era, I think they are less concerned about public perception than ever. Like it's a smaller one, but like the Andreas Hale situation, like that was an easy one to avoid and they did not care. Like here, like that got a lot of attention and they didn't change course on that. It got them a lot of bad publicity for a day or two. It was pretty prominent, but they don't. I think they care less about a reporter versus their own staff. Yeah, but honestly, Wei, is this going to be a story in a week? I think they look at it like this is a fast news cycle and people will move on and talent will stop talking about this. We'll forget about this and we'll see granted, next Mania, I think everyone's going to be taken care of very well in Saudi Arabia, but this is still an issue when you're going to some of these.
We could say SummerSlam. We could say any like major shows.
Any of these big shows, like you're going to like these different countries, and it's like we've seen like the footage when they've gone to France at the airport. Like these are major celebrities that these fans are seeing, and this is a constant. It's not just like a once a year WrestleMania phenomenon. Like these people are mobbed in airports routinely, and it's part of the job. And I do get yes, they are public figures, they're celebrities, but there's few that are as accessible as some of these performers, and there should not be such a thin layer between spectators and these performers that you can get right up to them, and in some cases, like dangerously close. Where like that's the more concerning part is the worst case scenario here of some of this access that is allowed.
So, what's the immediate action you would like to see TKO take if you're a wrestler in this company?
I mean, number one, I think like for these future shows when it's the company that is, putting everybody in like lockdown, 100%, these have to be on lockdown for number one. Like this is just cannot happen again to the bare minimum. And you know what? Of some of these many sponsors they have, someone's got to cater that Hall of Fame.
Hey, okay? Dodge Ram. Can you loan some trucks? Maybe some drivers, for some of your
that's
guys.
Part of the next meal sponsorship, okay? It's like you cater the Hall of Fame, okay? That's part of the next agreement, okay? That's what you're gonna.
Hey, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Maybe we can get something for Kevin Nash in the Hall of Fame, okay?
That would be great. Everyone gets served jelly rolls at the desk for everybody. It is WrestleMania month at postwrestling.com. Wei Ting and John Pollock go live all WrestleMania week beginning Monday, April the 13th. Sign up for the Post Wrestling Cafe and you will get live shows all week long leading into our coverage that weekend of WrestleMania 42. This month we're also bringing you reviews of Spring Break 2 from New Orleans in 2018 and a special Patrons Pick edition of Rewind Away. Sign up now at postwrestlingcafe.com, and this month new subscribers get 50% off for the first month. Head on over to postwrestlingcafe.com.